What's going on? I just basically I don't really even know I don't even know what to call myself. I it's like basically it took me a while to even come in because I'm like, what the hell do I even call myself at this point? I mean, this shit is all new to me. But um, you know, it's still self-improvement no matter what. Um Self improvement is definitely something that is never ending. So I guess I'll talk about it. So basically, in short, uh, I very much is interested in concept of self improvement, which is the Japanese philosophy. It is called Kaizen, which is self improvement, daily self improvement. Basically, get better and better and better until, I mean, it's just like you're just like, almost damn near perfect. Okay. So, speaking of perfection, I guess I'll go with that angle. I'll go with that. I'll go with that. So, one of one of these one of okay one of the videos that Ron Wills did, and I guess I'll title this. I'll put Ron Wills in the title. He definitely is someone that definitely deserves their flowers. You know, that's the whole term. Like, that's the concept that a lot of people are talking about, where a lot of people, a lot of black men don't uh pretty much acknowledge other black men um while they're living. They give them flowers at their funeral, and pretty much like giving someone their flowers while they living so they can actually smell them to, basically, not be this fan while they're dead, but while they're alive. And I don't know. I guess I can go into that a little bit, but I guess I'll go with that. But it's it's something to it when someone dies and then they be, kind of like, it's almost like you didn't know you missed them. I'll admit, I'll admit when it comes to this, and I'm gonna digress back to um what I was gonna say before. When it comes to a person that has passed away, and I it end up really missing that person, and when they were alive, I really wasn't really paying attention to them, but I knew them. Nipsey Hussle. Nipsey Hussle, I knew about him. I thought he's pretty smart, pretty cool, but I really wasn't really into him. I didn't really know how raw he actually was. Like, I really I'm gonna be honest, I discounted him. A lot of people, they discount you. They discount what you actually bring to the table, how raw you actually are. Until um something happens to you and then you get center stage. A lot of times when people die, that they become center stage. Um, if they were like famous somewhat, a lot of artists, that's what happens to them. Like Basquiat, when they were living, really weren't really doing that much. But soon as something happens, they die, and then all of a sudden it's like they get a lot of attention and everything like that. It's almost like someone is missed um more than because they're no longer here, and everybody pays attention to them all of a sudden, and they become center stage because um a lot of people didn't really know them until their passing. You know, you could even put Michael Jackson in that category. When he was alive, yeah, he was selling records, but he started selling a lot of records after he passed away. And the thing going back to Nipsey is when he died, it was like a big rallying around him, and you know, his family and everything like that, and then trying to figure out what happened to him and who was involved into that, you know, situation. They're still trying to figure that out, right, and make sense of it, you know. And the thing about it is, I knew I knew it was something that it was something that it was something that was great about him, and I didn't know how great he actually was until he died, you know. And the thing is that, you know, a lot of times that's how it is, you know. So I mean, I'll digress and go back to um basically three points. And I mentioned this many of times when it comes to the three types of men. And this is what I this was like a bomb drop moment when I was watching a video of Ron Wills. I think it was on one of his channels that he does, because he does like business, and he also does like a kind of a thinking, kind of like philosophy type channel. It's in most of his videos, but this is where these three things is kind of similar to the whole, like, four types of men that I talk about, whether it be, the poor person with no knowledge, the rich person with no knowledge, the man with knowledge but he's poor, and then the man with knowledge and riches, right? Well, it's kind of similar to that, but it's more, you just kind of take the money out of it, and it's just kind of more, it's more dynamic, and it's kind of unique. And when I heard it, it was like amazing, right? It was very, very much amazing. So the first type of man that he talked about, and I might be wording it different or whatever, but he basically said sort of like the I'll just say first type of man and woman is basic, the basic man or woman, or the basic man. I'll just say man, because that includes women. The basic man, okay. And even BGS Itmore, he talks about the basic man and woman is a 87 octane, 87 octane. And basically what Rob Wills was saying with this basic man is that basically you have you have people that basically, you know follow the herd. They follow the herd. Anything that goes on, they follow everything that the herd is doing. You know, So I'm just sending a message. I mean, that's what I'm doing right now. Uh, so yeah, they follow basically the herd. You know, they follow whatever the herd is doing. They follow that herd. You know, a lot of times they follow, you know, what's going on with other people's lives and you know what they're doing. You know, stay on top of everything as far as gossip, talking about gossip. Like I ain't gonna lie, I follow gossip and stuff like that. I go on media takeout and stuff like that. But I don't talk about it much. I don't talk about it much. I don't jump into to those the weeds and start shooting videos and stuff like that. Every now and again I will, but I don't do that. The reason why is, well, I'll just say the reason why I don't do that is because basically you you're watching everybody else lives. They're making millions of dollars, they're making billions of dollars, they're making money, and you're watching them trying to make crumbs off of talking about them or whatever, or you're trying to you basically even like follow them or like secretly hate them, and you've never met this person a day in your life. You just don't like them, you know, off of seeing them on TV or things that they say. You don't know anything about them. You spend a lot of time focusing in on whoever this person is you don't like, or even people that you do like. You follow them and you pay attention and zero in on them. They got money, you don't. And then next thing you know, a lot of times this these actions, uh the payout of these actions is you watching other people get rich. You watching other people, you know, make a whole bunch of money, you know, and you sitting on the sidelines. You don't necessarily like watch people tell you or try to teach you to how to get money. You watching other people spending money. You watching other people having fun in the club, or you know, doing all this other stuff and whatnot. And you sitting on the sidelines watching, you know, reality TV and keeping up with all of these, you know, different shows and shit like that. And these people are getting money, and you're steady working or trying to get by and everything like that. This is the dichotomy of the basic man. The basic man, you know, the man that follows the herd, whatever the herd is doing. Who's the king of the herd this week or this month or this year? Who's the queen of the herd this week, this month? You know, who's the talk of the town? You know, um, even so much so that people are very easily, the I would even say the basic man is very easily influenced. You know, a lot of these music, the music culture people really follow. They you know, next thing you know, they trying to get all of this type of this scam going, hit this lick, do this. And it's like at the end of the day, you getting sent off by somebody's music. You know, I never forget I was I think who was saying this? I was hearing this. I was listening to somebody and they were saying, and I've heard this before, you know, you listen to rap music and they're, yeah, I was talking to somebody over the phone and we was talking about it, and it's like basically you listen to a lot of rap music and they talking about shooting other people and killing people and spraying people and you know, doing this disrespectful act and that disrespectful act, and you know, all of this like negative toxic, you know, be actions that they're talking about. You don't hear that. You don't hear a lot of that in mass in other genres of music, or let's just say in other cultures in within the United States, such as European cultures, as well as Hispanic cultures, Asian cultures, and their music. I mean, yeah, they're catching on to drill music and all of this other stuff, but in mass, you don't hear that. They're not putting that out there for the general audience of their culture to see. It's only in quote unquote rap black culture that you hearing shoot 'em up, bang bang, and this and that's why the common sense song I used to love her. That's what he was saying. Basically, after the '90s in mass, rap went gangster. You know what I'm saying? It went to the West Coast and went gangster and everything like that. Now, don't get me wrong, it was always gangster because in the '80s with, basically in New York, I mean, it was hardcore then. So it wasn't like it went to the West Coast and got gangster. It was already gangster. The original culture of hip hop and rap comes out of the slums of the Bronx and Brooklyn, and even Chicago poets. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times people don't. Yeah, New York is definitely the origins of hip hop, but it had all kind of different people involved in that. Even people from Chicago went to New York, or they were poets. Even like people like Gil Scott Heron, the last poets. I mean, they had a part into the origins of hip hop. But the thing is, the point that I'm saying is that being on the bottom of society, a lot of times we don't think like I'll just say it like this. I'll just say it like this. I don't I don't glorify. I don't like glorification of poverty. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't I listen to the stories of poverty, or listen to music, rappers talking about poverty or escaping poverty, because basically a lot of times what rap is a rags to riches story. That's why a lot of times a lot of musicians or rappers or whatever, they get a lot of money and then they disconnect from their audience, and then they lose a lot of fan base because uh they don't have to do the things that they used to do back in the hood and trying to survive and stuff like that. They got millions of dollars, they got comfortable. It's like they don't. It's no their whole dichotomy changed. Their whole viewpoint changed. The way they live changed, and a lot of people they've come under the struggle of trying to get out of the ghetto and shit like that. And at the end of the day, like I lived in the ghetto. I literally lived in the ghetto. Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I seen stuff that other people have never seen. Like, I mean, I can't unsee. And glorifying poverty, I'm never cool with that. I'll never I'll never be like that's not fun to me to glorify poverty. Like a lot of times people want to quote unquote keep it real and you know keep it hood. I don't find it cool at all to glorify anything associated with poverty. I'm sorry. I call me bougie, call me elitist. I just don't that does not kick well with me at all to glorify, poverty. You know what I'm saying? Your first album is about ghetto, 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 poverty, poverty, poverty. The second album, the same thing. Like I listen to a couple songs, hit songs and stuff like that, and then I have to exit stage left. That's one of the things about I think well, I'll just say no Master P and the No Limit thing. Like they just they pretty much kind of just went away because I think because people don't really want to keep hearing that shit. Like nobody want to keep hearing about the hood. Every album is the hood, and all of that other stuff. Like, and then yeah, I think they made a lot of money, and it wasn't really that relevant to them anymore. I'll just even say that. But the it goes back to what I'm saying is a lot of times, um, with the rap culture and stuff like that, it's just send off music. At the end of the day, it's a business behind it, and it might even be Machiavellian, plot against, trying to send people off, whatever. I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is. But the basic man is definitely the one that gets sent off a lot of times, and follows these people, and you could even say it's the rich. I mean, the poor fool. The poor fool listens to the rich fool, i.e., the rapper, and then they trying to be like the rich fool, and the man with knowledge, kicking might be an underground rapper. They think he's corny, think he's lame, so on and so forth. Like I'm be honest with you, I even keep it all the way there, right? So I'm watching the Kanye West documentary on Netflix, and that's pretty much what the report was with Kanye. They thought this little corny dude from Chicago that was good at making beats and producing and whatnot, like, was corny, just a lame, corny dude. And they was like, you gotta be so gutter and you gotta be so hood and gangster in your flows and shit like that. It never really pretty much resonated with them that it's a lot of people that basically don't um live in the hood, that don't necessarily every day keep it real in the hood. You might, you can see like the women in the office in Rockefeller looking at him like, yeah, you cool, man, or yeah, I mean, you're corny, but all right, it's whatever. And it's like he had a hard time getting a record deal because they wanted his beats, they wanted his productions, but they this dude, what I'm saying, they really couldn't figure out what this dude was going to be and everything like that. And then there you have it. I mean, the rest is history, but it's like basically everybody didn't necessarily grow up in the hood, and just didn't have uh parents and stuff like that, and or their parents are strung out, or you know I mean, it just, everybody's not necessarily um grew up without nothing, like it's like basically with Jay-Z, right? Jay-Z grew up, his mom, struggling and stuff like that. I think his dad wasn't in his life. Kanye West, his mother was basically, she had a doctorate degree in English. She was an English chair at Chicago State University, where I went to school. Um, and it's like basically he went to a private school. He went to a private, like, art school and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Because his mom had money. She didn't get along, I guess, with his dad, but she was just kind of like a middle class woman in Chicago. It is a different dichotomy. It's like, basically, if you got some kids that grow up sheltered, they not gonna act that way. Like me, like, I was spoiled. I wasn't sheltered, but I was smart enough to know, okay, I ain't have to want for nothing. I didn't have to, like, bang out and all that other shit, because I knew I knew what that lifestyle was. I came from the hood. When I moved to the suburbs, when I was like 6 years old, I knew what the hood was about. I knew what Chicago was about. You know, I seen the worst in Chicago. You know, so it's like when I go to the suburbs, these kids, they probably, grew up in the suburbs. They think that's cool. I was like, nah. I mean, it's funny games, but at the end of the day, I ain't never missed no meals. I pretty much, my mom used to give us like $100, like a lot. That was a lot of money back in the early '90s and whatnot. You get whatever you want. You get like at least 3 or 4 outfits for $100. If you price them right. Like I didn't grow up like other people, unfortunately. Like I grew up, man, like probably I would say with at least a copper spoon. I ain't gonna say I had a silver spoon. It was other people that like they had the freshest clothes, they had the freshest brand names. I mean, honestly, like a lot of times, like if you didn't steal the shit off the racks, like me and my sister, we used to steal shit from Marshall Fields and shit. Like basically trying to keep up with fashion. Like we ain't had like all of the fucking clothes and shit like that, all of the shoes. So, I mean, at the end of the day though, it's like I grew up in a middle class black community. You know what I'm saying? I used to drive past the projects when I was in a teenager. I didn't have to be around the projects no more. When I moved out of this Chicago in the like mid '80s, I was just driving past the projects. I wouldn't have to walk past them anymore. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I was my mother was smart enough, my dad, to get us away from the poverty shit. Get away from all these basic ass people that, watching everybody else instead of self-improving, watching what everybody else do. All of that type of stuff, man, is like it's why people be hating on other people. They be secretly hating on other people and shit like that. Because it's like a post I put on my Facebook page. It's nothing more materialistic than a Negro that never had shit. Basically, some of the most materialistic people that I've ever been around in my life, they grew up poor, piss pot poor. Piss pot poor, and as soon as they get some money, they try to hoard everything and act like everything is like, Lord of the Rings and Gollum, and everything is my precious. Um, and it's like, yeah, it's like these people didn't they had shit. So when they get something, it's like, oh wow, you get in somebody's car and they talking about don't eat, in the car or whatever. Like, I mean, okay, what do you have? Is you driving a Rolls Royce Phantom, or I get the whole take your shoes off in the house. I get that, but I mean, like, I don't want nobody. Like, it's some people, they have uh, a cable man come by and install cable, and they don't want them using the bathroom. Like, it's some special ass people in this world. Like shit like that. Like, it's a fucking bathroom. What you gonna have this man shit and piss outside because you want him to come install your cable or do some work for you, but you don't want to let him use the bathroom? You act like a bathroom is so fucking special, because your ass grew up in a trailer park or some shit, and y'all bathroom didn't work for a month or two. I mean, I don't know, man. It's just this is definitely the dichotomy of these basic ass people, because there's definitely more basic people in the world, and just in this country as well, than there are what I'm about to talk about, as far as the two other types of men. And this is basically something that I learned from Ron Wills. Okay. You don't know who Ron Wills is, you need to get slapped upside the head and punched. So the second type of man, I would say this is the exceptional man. Exceptional man. And when I say man, I'm talking about man and woman. Okay, but I am a man. I ain't, it is what it is. All right. So the exceptional man is the man that is separated from the basic man. Not as far as society, but he is someone that is somewhat of a coach. He is someone that has self-improved in his life and went beyond basic. He a person that basically is he became a clergyman, a reverend, or imam, or you know he went to the military, and he got really high rank. He learned a skill or two. Uh, college educated. Got a degree. Might have a master's degree, and highly skilled in his field. Uh, a doctor, a lawyer, a titled man, someone that they probably have some titles connected to them. You know what I'm saying? And they definitely they're not average by any stretch of the imagination or basic. You know, um, and they tend to kind of really do better than even basic men and women in society. Because a lot of times people are jealous. The basic man and woman, they're jealous of people that do better than them, because they think that people are lucky, or people just got it easy. I'm gonna be the first person to tell you, like, my channel is a case study of the fact that it is not easy out here. And yeah, sometimes you do have to go buy an old ass car and drive it for a period of years if you want to get out of debt, if you want to not dig yourself deeper in the hole. You might have to get you a car that might be 10 years old. And you might, if like something happens, you fell down, you got sick, or you caught a case, or um whatever the case may be, you got divorced, you got a child support case put on you, and you got to regroup. Like, I mean, it's not the end of the world, man. I mean, if you got to go get you a apartment, you got to go get you a car that's older, it's better, man, than hitting a lick, and then now you running from the cops, and then they chasing you, and it's a high speed chase, or you on foot running from the police, and then you get caught. Now you looking at 10 years because you done did a couple armed robberies, because you got broke and you ain't had no money, and all of this that goes with it. When all you had to do was just really slow down, stop following these people, go to your own little your neutral corner, get your life together, and move on. And then here's the deal. Here's the deal about getting locked up and everything, right? I'm gonna tell you something about getting locked up and everything, right? This wasn't the case for me. I wasn't with anybody or anything like that, but well, I was, but I wasn't at the time. But the thing is that a lot of times people do get caught up, and it's usually either because of a woman. A lot of people get locked up because of a woman, or they was rolling with some guys, you know, and they got caught up, and did something or whatever. And a lot of times, it's bad associations, just bad associations, pretty much. You with the wrong people. So when you get locked up, you start to think, damn, I was around this person, or I was with this chick and she was intolerable, or she was um tolerable, but we got into it, and then now I got a domestic violence charge, and I'm sitting for some months, and my bail is $10,000, and I don't have anybody to give me $1,000 because all my friends was bums, you know. I ain't hang around. I didn't hang around. I didn't hang around the guys that had jobs and shit because I thought they were corny and lame, But really, the corny and lame ones is that I thought was cool. The gang the dudes that was gang, they were corny and lame because they can't even scrape up $1,000 to get me bonded out. So you start realizing that's why a lot of time people they get out and they be quiet. They done did they year in jail, 6 months, 6 years, whatever. They get out and then they know the deal. They know these dudes ain't shit. Well, some of them don't, and they get with the same dudes and do the same shit. But a lot of times they get out and they realize they got to be a square from Delaware. And then these guys ain't gonna come help you. They ain't gonna come see you. Um, the little money you was trying to make or trying to risk it all for wasn't worth it. And it took you getting locked up to realize that basically these guys, man, that you was hanging with or this woman you was with weren't worth a damn, weren't worth nothing. And then um them people that you thought was corny wasn't necessarily corny. They just basically saw that they needed to separate from all of this basic ass average ass shit and stay there. A lot of times people will look at the exceptional man as, you know, he think he knows better. He think he know more than me. He think, oh, what, you got a master's degree? What, you think you my master? All that type of stuff, man. You know, um, they think because you older and you survived, and you not necessarily rich, that it's like basically you just lived, and then just you breathe oxygen and eat food and drunk liquids, and you just an old dumb nigga because you not rich. You know what I'm saying? It's like that type of stuff. And then when they get old, they like, damn, you know, I'm old now. So these young dudes calling me a dumb old nigga. It's like, man, it's just the cycle continues. But at the end of the day, exceptional man is the learned man. He's well learned. He's educated. He's even if he ain't went to college, he's self-educated. He knows how to build a house. Like right now, I'm I'm actually learning every day, man. Every project I do, even if I get help, like I got handymen that help me do certain projects, like putting the drywall up and stuff, and then I watch a video here or two on YouTube, and then it just kind of helps me understand how this is what I'm supposed to do before I do it, and then yeah, like it's just more experience. More experience I get, the better I get at it. Because I'm telling you, you learn how to rehab and build houses. You could do that twice a year if you got the money. If you save enough money, you could do two houses a year and make. at the very least, $50,000 a year. Just part. That's just kind of whenever you can. It might be kind of more part time. You could easily do two houses if you got the money to actually fix them up. You could do two houses within 6 months. You could do two houses in 6 months, and then you could take 6 months off to take a break, and then do another two. After a year later, like, see, the thing is that pretty much real estate is just reason why a lot of people is in real estate is because it's basically a big ticket item. It's one of the biggest ticket items you could buy, other than a skyscraper or something like that, a big building, a commercial building. Like, you know, a house is usually your big purchase. Like most people their parents done, had a 30-year mortgage, right? And they might have paid off the house if they paid the house off. They don't work till they like 50, 60 years old to pay that house off. That's a big deal. And it's like cars is probably the second most common big ticket item. You sell a bunch of cars. I mean, it's actually laws against selling a whole bunch of cars, believe it or not. And it's like it ain't no laws against how many houses you can sell. You can sell as many houses as you want. Now you gotta pay taxes on it. You gotta have make sure your accountant is got your taxes plugged in correctly. But you can sell as many houses as you want. Cars, like in the state of Illinois, I think it's like you can only sell maybe like two or three, no more than four cars. I don't know what Indiana is, but it's like you have a cap on how many cars you can sell. You'd have to get a dealer's license to be able to sell an unlimited amount of cars. Um, houses you could buy and resell as many houses as you want. So that just lets you know right there, um, everything you need to know. So yeah, I mean, the exceptional man, like I say, he is someone of a higher esteem than basic, you know. Uh and then the third and last man is the guru. This is the guru, okay? Or as Ron Will said, the wise sage, you know. So put my drink down, put this in there. So the guru is someone that he or she has done a lot of work. They've someone that they not only got their degree, or they got self-educated. uh they done their craft for years, and they became an expert in it. They became like the best at it. You know what I'm saying? Like for example, Russell Simmons is a guru. The reason why Russell Simmons is a guru is because he became someone that found artists. He first you know he found I think he found Slick Rick, like in the early 80s. And he was able to find these rappers and bring them to record labels. Now you could say a lot of stuff about as far as his business practices, how stingy he is and greedy he is, or whatever the case may be, but you can't say that Russell Simmons is not a guru. If you've actually knew who Russell Simmons, his history, his bio, you definitely know that Russell Simmons is definitely a guru. even a way, as far as he's, his diet, as far as being a vegan, and the youthfulness that he actually looks like, he's like, I think his 60s, but he doesn't look like he's in his 60s, because he basically has a vegan diet and he does yoga, you know, practice yoga and meditation. He talks a lot about it. He got books on it and all this stuff. He's a guru. He actually did a lot of other businesses. Like I say, I mean, he ain't God. He's not a guru. Ain't a god. I mean, I guess you could even say as a four types of men, because you do you do have the guru, but I guess above the guru is a king. A king, or even above that, is like a god-like figure. But when you getting on that type of level, I mean, uh, you know, I don't even want to really talk about that type of stuff. I don't want to talk about like above a king to like a god, like, because there was pharaohs, like the pharaoh in Egypt was not just a king, they worshiped him as a god. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even really want to talk about that because people not really ready for that. People not ready for that type of talk. Not on this channel. You know what I'm saying? And definitely not. Yeah, just it just not there. But definitely the guru is definitely a third person. But just to put my genius out there, I'll say that definitely it really is, I'll say, five people, because I'm talking and I'm thinking, and I'm like, you know what, it's after the guru. You have the king, you know and then you also have above that, uh, you ascend to a higher being, like you become like a god or something like that, you know what I'm saying, like, uh or god like, because it's levels of perfection. Basically all of these things are perfection. I'm talking about self-improvement. It's like it seems kind of weird, maybe. I'm definitely not nowhere near average. So for average, a basic person will probably call me a weirdo. But the thing is that it's all in how close you get to perfection. You know, uh they say, like, it's certain people that knew how to use most of their brain. They say most people only use like less than 10% of their brain power. Well, what if you were able to use 75%? You would actually be a damn walking god, like be able to like read people's minds and shit like that. I mean, just whatever. I digress, but the guru is definitely someone that is like the best at their field. Like a example of a guru that is like no longer here or whatever would be Sigmund Freud. Sigmund Freud, he went through the educational system, became a psychiatrist, right? And he became like one of the best psychiatrists that like in history, right? And it's like, yeah, he went. You could say that's the Sigmund Freud is someone that ascended to guru status. He became a guru. You know, Another person like this, as crazy as it might be, I think he's in a mental institution right now. Or, I mean, not so much an institution, but a mental, private, probably mental facility or something like that. Kanye West is a guru. I mean, definitely a guru. You can't argue that he's not a guru. He's not just an exceptional man. He was an exceptional man when he got that Rockefeller chain, and he was producing for Jay-Z and Rockefeller and Dame Dash and all of them, and Beanie Siegel, and it's all in the Netflix documentary. He's a guru. he done proved everything he said he was gonna do. He pretty much, uh, you know, did everything, all of that shit talking he did, he backed it up. He's a billionaire. I mean, what else can you actually say or do? I mean, like, it's like he's already proven himself to a certain extent. Got, a fleet of Lamborghini trucks. I mean, he's on a guru status. Now, some people are not able to really handle that guru status or that guru level because I'll go back to the king. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. It's a lot of pressure when you get on a higher level. You start making a whole bunch of money, and you can't go anywhere without security. you know and who knows what goes on in that type of world. They only do movies about shit like that, that type of world. And yeah, I mean, this is all I'm gonna say about this. I mean, shout out to Ron Will. I'll put his name in the title in case somebody doesn't know about him. When he talked about the three types of men, man, I probably watched that video probably 3 or 4 times. I was blown away, because you know, it was a time in history. Because see, here's the thing about it is, America's got kind of going into a state of idiocracy, like the movie Idiocracy. And it was a time throughout history that certain empires and kingdoms and stuff like that, they were in a state where a lot of people were learning, a lot of people were like, making new inventions and artistic expression and stuff like that. That's where, like in Europe, there's the Renaissance. That's where the Renaissance came from. They start doing a lot of art and making a lot of music and stuff like that. Well, in Egypt, they was building pyramids. They were building all kind of things, the Sphinx and stuff like that. They went through a long period of higher elevation, you know what I'm saying, to the point where, yeah, their king was an actual god. I mean, that just, you think about that, and it's like, yeah, like it's like people are kind of, because of technology and because of laziness or whatever, people are just kind of digressing. Like people, you can notice the idiocracy because, like, for example, there was a post, young people are saying that young rappers that are trash is better than Jay-Z. It's like trash rappers that just got out of prison, I ain't gonna say even no names, are better than Jay-Z. Okay, like that just lets you know everything you need to know about how idiotic some people are, whether they be young, basically young people, just basically just because somebody's older and they have a disconnect from the older artists to a younger artist, they want to it's like they're almost trying to put a square peg through a round hole, and it is hilarious, and yeah, it just it is what it is, man. I just see a kind of kind of, not everybody, but I see in mass an idiocracy of the United States coming on. Just a lot of people are just digressing, uh, to states where they just try. They think being an idiot is actually cool. It's actually okay to be an idiot. Like I just see that being more commonplace, and it's not really cool, and the thing is that, like I say, going back to times where people strive to basically do more and do a lot, as far as inventions and higher levels of music and artistic expression and stuff like that. I mean, we just kind of have to find a way to get back to that possibly. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying everybody, but you know, it is it's quite an interesting time to say the least. So you know, this bomb drop is for Ron Wheels with the three types of men. And I'll put the video in the title.
Message.